If you don't know who Braden Berry is, just wait. Braden, also known as SayWeCanFly, is a young artist from Lindsay, Ontario, who spent his teen years trying to break into the music scene by playing local shows in coffee shops and recording demos in his room. With the release of his debut full-length album just around the corner, I had the opportunity to sit down and talk with him on the Kingston stop of his Ontario tour.
The day was filled with chaos and decision.
So, while creating these questions, I ran into some difficulties trying to figure out what you consider this. So if you don't mind me asking, is SayWeCanFly considered like a stage name or a solo project, or do you consider it something else?
I kind of just call it a solo project. Some people call it a band, but I feel kind of weird doing that because it's just me. I guess it's a stage name too, but yeah, I just call it a solo project.
So everyone creates their names differently. How did you come up with the name SayWeCanFly?
I think back in 2009, I had just started recording my own music, and kind of realized that people post their music on the internet, and people listen to it. So I was just on YouTube trying to name my YouTube channel, and I wanted to do the whole one word kind of MySpace kind of thing. So I just laid on my bed for hours trying to think of a name, and that was the first one I thought of. So I just named my YouTube channel SayWeCanFly, and then I just ended up using it for my music.
So I know this is a pretty common question, but I'm gonna ask it anyways. Musically, who is your biggest influence?
My biggest influence vocally is a guy named Aaron Gillespie from a band called Under Oath. They're like a hardcore band. He's one of my favorite vocalists. Musically, probably a lot of Chase Coy, who's kind of an underground-ish, acoustic act, and then Secondhand Serenade, Reliant K. Yeah, those are my main ones.
So obviously every artist and band has a song that they've written that means so much to them. What song that is yours means a lot to you?
I guess they all mean something different, but I think that I've released so far, there's a song called Your Heart Was No Place for a Monster Like Me, which is just piano and a little bit of guitar and vocals. I think that one just means a lot to me because it was the first one I really took the time to record nicely and release. And it's just really simple, and it's kind of the first really sad love song I wrote, so I'll always really like that one.
And is that your favorite song to play live, or is it is there a different one?
I never play that one live, so it's probably got to be a song called Intoxicated I Love You, which is one of my newer ones. It's really fun to play live.
I was never one to face myself. Now I know exactly where you're coming from, and I never knew enough to change myself from the monster that burned us to the ground. I've done my wearing of hearts on my sleeve. I've worn it down to the bone. Now I see when you're wrapped up in the arms of someone else, it brings my world down to hell. I never thought that I would come back to you. To be honest, I am nothing without you. I hope that there's a chance that you can forgive me now. My years alone have taught me very well. I hope that you can hear it in my voice. My intentions, they are honest. I wish that you could see it in my eyes. I can't live to see this die. There comes a time when I'm alone and I am thinking about you. It happens almost every night, and the world as I know it has never been the same place without you in my life. And now it's time to admit that I have always been there, always been scared.
So obviously every artist starts writing songs at a different age. When did you originally start writing music?
I was 14. I had just like messed around on guitar since I was like 8. I like write stuff on guitar, but like an actual full song I wrote when I was 14, and I played for my mom, and she really liked it, so I kept like writing stuff.
And when did you realize that making music was kind of what you wanted to do?
It was probably about like right before I went into high school, which was like when I was like 14, 15. Like that summer before I went to high school, it was kind of like a big change in my life, obviously. And like when I went to high school, I didn't really have many friends at first and stuff. So I think like when I would go home, I'd just like write music and play guitar and stuff, and it made me feel like okay no matter what was going on. So I think at that point it became something that was such a big part of my life and like so important to me that I just kept doing it. And I just realized it was like the one thing that's gonna make me happy in life.
So obviously being a solo music artist is a lot different than being in a band. What are some of the pros of being a solo music artist?
Some of the pros, you don't have to like wait on other people you don't have to like organize other people, because I know for bands that can be tough sometimes because everyone has different schedules. It's just like it's a lot easier because everything I do, like I have 100% like say, so it's like I'm not having to jumble other people's ideas into like my vision and stuff, so that's kind of cool. It's just easy, like I only have an acoustic guitar on tour, like it's just like very simple, it doesn't take a lot of time to like load my gear and stuff. I don't know, I don't know anything different than being a solo artist, so it's kind of hard to compare the two.
Is there any like cons to being a solo music artist?
Sometimes it's tough to like play with full bands because they get like so much energy in the room, like with people like metal bands and stuff. Sometimes I open for metal bands or whatever, and it's tough to like, because you're just by yourself, so you have to kind of bring that energy up on your own, so that's definitely challenging. That's like probably my biggest one. Other than that, I really love it.
I was always taught to forgive and forget. I live a simple life, but I can't pretend like it's all okay, when really it's not, because I've learned that liars get caught. I know I'm only 17, but things get rough when you live in this town and you know you're stuck until you get a car. And even then you won't get far, don't get me wrong, it's been a party, but I think I'm passing out. I'm 17 and it's hard enough to understand that I'm growing up fast. My mom and dad were all I had, but everybody drifts, I guess. And God, there's gotta be a better place than here. I can feel the sun, but I'm nowhere near. So what do you say we make like angels and get the hell out of here? I could make an honest living at the grocery store with all the people who forgot their dreams and closed the doors, but I know that I need more. I can't survive on mopping floors. Now the days of the week are all the same. If I'm not at work, then I'm with my friends, doing stupid things I won't forget until the day I die. And don't get me wrong, it's been a party, but I need to move along. I'm 17 and it's hard enough to understand that I'm growing up fast. My mom and dad were all I had, but everybody drifts, I guess. And God, there's gotta be a better place than here. I can feel the sun, but I'm nowhere near. So what do you say we make like angels and get the hell out of here? I'm 17 and it's hard enough to understand that I'm growing up fast. My mom and dad were all I had, but everybody drifts, I guess. And God, there's gotta be a better place than here. I can feel the sun, but I'm nowhere near. So what do you say we make like angels and get the hell out of here? So what do you say we get the hell out of here?
So I realized that you've been touring around and playing shows for most of your teen years. So what is your favorite tour memory?
Favorite tour memory? That's so tough because I really just love like all of tour. I think like recently in the States I went on tour and I played in Michigan, and the night after the show we stayed in this like crazy massive like log cabin on the water, and it was like one of the clearest lakes I've ever seen, and we watched a meteor shower, and it was just like really beautiful. It was at the end of the tour, so I got to like think about the whole tour, and it was just like a really nice moment.
And obviously this is kind of the opposite.
Yeah.
But what was your most embarrassing tour memory?
Probably like a really weird one that happened was in Ohio, and there was like probably like 70 kids at the show, and it was this tiny little venue, so everyone was like hanging out in the same spot. And this girl like pulled me to the side and asked if she could talk to me, and I said, yeah, sure, like that's cool. And I asked her like what she wanted to talk about, and she just grabbed my face and like tried to kiss me like on the lips in front of everyone. And I had to like push her away because like I can't really do that. I don't want to do that. So that was kind of embarrassing just because I didn't really know what to do. So yeah.
So I've heard that you are currently working on a new album. So how is that going?
It's good. I was in the studio for 2 months in Toronto, and I finished it. And then we had some technical issues, and the album got deleted. So like just the files were lost. So I actually went to redo it in Missouri, and I did that a couple weeks ago, and it's done. Like it's completely finished now, which is awesome. So I'm just kind of getting my release plan together and shooting some videos and stuff. So it turned out really cool.
Has the writing process for this album been different than others?
It has. Like I mean, I've never written anything other than EPs. Like it's my first full length, so it was like I had to go into it knowing that I wanted it to like flow as an album, not just like a bunch of songs thrown together. So it was weird because I kind of wrote it as like a whole story. So that was definitely really challenging, and it was just like such a random, spontaneous writing process for each song. Like I don't know, I'd be like walking one day and just like come up with something, or I'd be like half asleep and like have a dream or something. I don't know. So it's just like a lot of different places that the songs came from, which is cool.
What do you expect the response will be during the release compared to like some of your EPs and stuff?
I'm really hoping that it's like better, obviously, and I hope that people because personally I kind of feel like it's the first piece of music that I'm like really like happy with and proud of. Like I kind of feel like it's the first the best first impression anyone could have of like what my music is. So I really just hope people can grow kind of as I did when I was writing it and stuff. So I think it's gonna do well because people are so like excited about it because it's been so long since I started like promoting it and stuff because it got deleted and whatever. But I think it'll be cool. I'm just waiting so I can make like a really good release plan, for everyone to kind of enjoy. So.
This secret safe with me. Oh, how you make me believe that you won't say a word as long as I don't breathe. But I've been here before, and I can already tell that I'm about to bleed all over the floor. And I wish I'd known better than to bruise my bones. I'm about to fall down, and I'm beginning to doubt I can live with myself. So let's drown, and if there's no going back, we'll take the easy way out. I'll give you everything when it's it's convenient for me. If you don't stop my heart, I'll struggle with every beat. My hands are tied behind my back with a rope made out of what I lack. Where the hell did I go wrong? I'll sing with you as you proceed to bruise my bones. I'm about to fall down, and I'm beginning to doubt I can live with myself. So let's drown, and if there's no going back, I'm about to fall down, and I'm beginning to doubt I can live with myself. So let's drown, and if there's no going back, we'll take the easy way out.
So we all realize that you're a really talented musician, but do you have any other maybe like hidden talents that people don't know about?
I think like I'm a huge like nerd with like social media and like internet stuff, and I feel like I know like how all of that stuff works. I spend so much time figuring out like algorithms on like Facebook and Twitter, like just like all that stuff. So I'm like really into computer stuff, and I don't think anyone really knows that, but yeah, that's like another thing I really enjoy.
Do you have any tips for aspiring young musicians trying to start up, but that maybe you wish you were told when you were trying to start up?
Yeah, I think like the biggest thing that like always got me down was I think I spent a lot of time comparing myself to other people, and that's good because that kind of shows you what you want to do better, but sometimes it's not a good thing because, you know, you look at people that are doing well and you kind of think like, you know, oh, they're so much better than me, like I'm never going to get there, and then that kind of stops some people from actually trying, you know, at first like thinking they're not going to be able to do it. So I guess just the biggest thing is just realize it's going to take a lot of work, but also realize that it's possible, and like if another human can do it, then you can. That's what I believe. So it's just like put in the work and like realize you're going to grow as you go.
Also online, I have read so many stories that like your music has helped them through like a rough time or like a point in their life that they didn't think they could get through. Do hearing those stories kind of like affect how you write, or like?
They definitely do, and like they have over the past couple years, because like I feel like when those people like on the internet, because like, you know, when I go on tour I get to meet those people and like they're real life, you know, people, and we talk and stuff, like knowing that I have that effect on other people's lives, you know, because they have the same effect on mine. Like people that support my music really help me get by, because that's the one thing that I love to do. So I think because it's kind of like developing a relationship like on just like this crazy level with these people like all around the world, and that kind of influences the way I think about things, and I definitely include that into a lot of my writing because that's a big part of my life.
So do you have any questions that like you've never been asked before during an interview, but you kind of always hoped would be asked so you could answer it?
That's really tough. I don't know. I haven't really done that like a ton of interviews yet, so I think I have like lots of time for questions. Someone asked me to pretend to be a girl once, and I had to say no because I can't do that. I mean, like I don't know. I'm always down with answering anything, but I mean, I feel like people know me pretty well, like, you know, aside from like weird things about me, like random stuff, but I can't really think of anything right now.
Okay.
To be honest.
I bet my life you've heard this all before, and I also bet my life that you forgot. You've gotta hope for the best and prepare for the worst, and always keep your best foot forward. I know that sometimes life gets rough, but that's never a reason to give up. Keep your heart up in the clouds, never let the people drag you down. I have learned to chase my dreams. I know that if I don't, they will get away on me. So I do what I love to do. I know people from around the world, and they show their love through kindness in their words. And that's enough to keep my heart alive, in a place that keeps me struggling to survive. I know that sometimes life gets rough, but that's never a reason to give up. Keep your heart up in the clouds, never let the people drag you down. I have learned to chase my dreams. I know that if I don't, they will get away on me. So I do what I love to do. Let me tell you a secret, it gets me through, and I hope you believe it. Wake up every day, you know exactly what you want, and you will find it. But don't get lost. I know that sometimes life gets rough, but that's never a reason to give up. Keep your heart up in the clouds, never let the people drag you down. I have learned to chase my dreams. I know that if I don't, they will get away on me. So I do what I love to do. I do what I love to do.
So now I have two kind of random questions because we thought might end it off with like a bang. So if you were home alone and you heard a fart, would you be scared or laugh?
I would probably like both. I'd probably laugh, and then I'd probably search my whole house. I think that'd be one of the creepiest things that could ever happen. Probably. Depends how loud it was. I don't know.
If your belly button was afraid of the dark and screamed every time you put a shirt on, what would you do?
I'd probably cut a little hole in each one of my shirts, just for my belly button.
Well, that's better than some people.
I wouldn't go shirtless because that's not how I roll. But I just cut a little hole. I've never thought that's an interesting concept, though. Very interesting.
So, thank you for doing this interview with me, and yeah.
Awesome, thank you for doing it. Thanks for coming to the show.
Those scars on your wrists are the mark of the world, an ocean that's left you so torn. But remember the heart you brought into this world, the same one as when you were born. How confused you must be, finding love in the blood that you bleed. But the truth is that I see why you say that it's hard to be me. And we all make mistakes. It's not you, but this world you should hate. You're as beautiful as you were yesterday. eyes are the product of lies. You've been led to believe that they're true, but remember the light you brought into this world. I promise it will get you through. How confused you must be, finding love in the blood that you bleed. But the truth is that I see why you say that it's hard to be me. And we all make mistakes. It's not you, but this world you should hate. You're as beautiful as you were yesterday.